A Garage Geek 3-in-1. Good morning and welcome to another Unbathed Garage Geek edition of 3-in-1.
I watched a GG video a few days back, and he was saying he felt kind of dirty and scruffy because he hadn't taken a shower yet. I haven't taken a shower in 3 days.
So I went out yesterday. I'm going to show some pictures and some B-roll, but the main reason of going out, besides having a good time meeting a friend, was to grab some beer cans. Now in front of me I have 8 beers lined up. So part 1 of this video is going to be me showing off the 8 beers that I got from Paperback Brewery. Now Paperback Brewery was so cool because it was designed like an airplane hangar. I was able to buy single cans instead of 4-packs, which was perfect for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and start showing off these beers. The first one I have is Attack of the Space Cats, which is a hazy India pale ale. You basically have this space cat and he's attacking the city there. This one is being hilarious. And also, there was a cat in the bar, and the bar was open onto the street, and they had a food truck. And it was so cool. The cat would jump up on the seats, and I really like that. So anyways, here's Attack of the Space Cats. Number 2 we have is The Surrealist Belgium Blonde Ale. I'm going to say that this is modeled after Magritte, and it says, "Ce n'est pas une canette de bière." This is not a beer can, I guess, or a can of beer. We have Tales from Down the River Under Pressure Pale Ale. A person fighting an octopus underwater, and we have one of those, I forget what are those fish called. What does that say? It says Los Angeles River. And it's a dump. Oh, Lord. Yeah, there's Venice Beach underwater. Oh, Lord, that's funny. Next is probably going to be my favorite, and this one is Satan Wears Pajamas. Eternal damnation is too long to not be comfortable. American Red Ale. So here we have Satan in his bunny slippers and his captain's cap. A cap. The next one we have is Atomic Slam Hazy Double India Pale Ale, and we have an American and Russian wrestler, and this is just hilarious, like based on Rocky IV or something like that. Big Trouble in Sexy Town. This is a Double India Pale Ale, and I'm gonna say this is based on a kind of blaxploitation movie. There's nothing sexy about being dead. The penultimate one has a bad word on it, so I'm just going to say, what the F? This is She Was Half Demon, Half Babe, and All Surprises. What the F? This is Double India Pale Ale. Oh, I need to go this way. And he also says, what the F? And he's got a knife, and he's afraid for his life. Finally, we have Robot Strip Club. This is an Imperial Hazy IPA. We have lots of robots enjoying themselves at the strip club. Oh, hilarious. All right, what was your favorite beer? Would you have bought these? If you had this brewery near you, would you start a beer can collection? Part 2 of this video is going to be a dedication to Vinyl Richie. So Vinyl Richie read the words to Push It, and I felt like he was reading those lyrics for me. It went right to my soul. So I know this is part of a thread, but I'm going to I'm actually going to try to recite a rap song. Now I'm surrounded with my animals. I've locked us all in the living room and I turned on the AC. But like I was trying to say, so this song is in 3 parts. So I'm going to do it part by part because I'm going to try to do this without looking. This is Chicalina, everybody, and she likes to be petted. She demands it, so she will start clawing me if I don't pet her. See? Chicalina, stop! Here's a little story I like to tell about 3 bad brothers you know so well. It started way back in history with MCA, Ad Rock, and me, Mike D. I had a little horsey named Paul Revere. Just me and my horsey and a quart of beer. Riding across the land, kicking up sand. Sheriff's posse's after me because I'm in demand. One lonely beastie I be, all by myself without nobody. The sun is beating down on my baseball hat. The sun is getting hot. The beer is getting flat. I'm looking for a girl. I ran into a guy. His name is MCA. I said howdy. He said hi. Part 2. He told a little story that sounded well rehearsed. 4 days on the run and that he's dying of thirst. The brew was in my hand and he was on my tip. His voice was hoarse, his throat was dry, he asked me for a sip. He said, can I get some? I said, you can't get none. Had a chance to run, pulled out his shotgun. Quick on the draw, I thought I'd be dead. He put the gun to my head and this is what he said. My name is MCA, I've got a license to kill. I think you know what time it is, it's time to get ill. Now what do we have here? An outlaw on his beer. I run this line, you understand, I make myself clear. We stepped into the wind, he had a gun, I had a grin. You think the story's over, but it's ready to begin. Part 3. Now I got the gun and you got the brew. You got 2 choices of what you can do. It's not a tough decision as you can see. I could blow you away or you could ride with me. I said, I'll ride with you if you can get me to the border. The sheriff's after me for what I did to his daughter. I did it like this. I did it like that. I did it with a wiffle ball bat. So I'm on the run. The cops got my gun. And right about now, it's time to have some fun. The King Ad Rock, that is my name, and I know the fly spot where they got the champagne. We rode for 6 hours till we hit the spot. The beat was a bumpin' and the girlies was hot. This dude was staring like he knows who we are, so we took the empty seat next to him at the bar. Mike D said, yippee yo, you know this kid? I said, I didn't, but I know he did. The kid said, get ready, cause this ain't funny. My name is MCA and I'm about to get money. He pulled out the jammy, aimed it at the sky. He yelled, stick 'em up, and let 2 fly. Hands went up and people hit the floor. He wasted 2 kids that ran for the door. Now, I'm Mike D and I get respect. Your cash and your jewelry is what I expect. MCA, something is my ace. So I grabbed the piano player and I punched him in the face. The piano player's out, the music stopped. His boy had beef, so he got dropped. MCA grabbed the cash. Mike D grabbed the gold. I grabbed 2 girlies on a beer, that's cold. Oh my God, okay, I messed it up a little bit. Okay, but I'm done with this. It was hard memorizing that. So, Vinyl Richie, that was my tribute to you. I wanna thank you. In part 3 of this video, I'm going to be showing off 5 magazine-sized comics. Now, you might be able to hear some music in the background, and I'm sure that's going to get me copyright. But that's my husband in the kitchen, and he's jamming as he's cleaning. So, I'm not going to go in there and tell him to turn it down. I'm going to go with my least favorite to my most favorite of these 5 magazine types. Now, Sleepy Reader warned me. I read the first 2 issues of Gone from Distillery. And again, these are in magazine size formats. And the art is fine in these, but the story is muddy. I had trouble distinguishing some characters. It does have some really interesting elements. But I think this could have been in a regular size comic format and it would have been just as enjoyable. The interior art is okay, but again, it doesn't justify this oversized format. This involves some terrorists taking over a ship that is moving through space, and because of time dilation, they'll be on the ship for decades. Whereas time in normal space is only passing a little bit. And so by the time we get to issue 2, 10 years have passed on this ship, and it's been in a state of siege that entire time. We do have great double page spreads and single page, but again, I was confused by some of the characters. So there was just a little bit of issues with clarity. I'm sure if I reread this, now I would understand the characters better, but I don't really think I should have to do that. So Sleepy Reader, I agree with Sleepy Reader's review that this is not probably the best comic for spending your money on, although I'm going to be honest, I am going to get the 3rd issue of this series because I'm really interested in the time dilation aspect of this comic. The next comic I'm going to look at, again, is this magazine-sized comic, Spectrograph, from Distillery Comics. And this is issue 2. Now, I really loved issue 1, and for me to put this second on the list, when I thoroughly enjoyed this, mean that the other 2 are really going to be stellar. I enjoyed this as well. I do feel the first issue was better because it had the introducing of the story and the background. So in this second issue of Spectrograph, 2 characters are locked in a house and they're trying to figure out the rules. Supposedly the house converts people into ghosts, and we learn more about the background of the characters, why they're in this house and what they're trying to do. And even though there's a lot of explanation going on, the art, the layout, the story really kept me interested. Their encounters with the different ghosts in this haunted house was really interesting. So I'm definitely going to be reading issue 3 of this series. This one is recommended to spend your money on. My number 2 in this list is Dear Detective from DC Comics. Now this is a cobbling together in a very clever way of Lee Bermejo's stunning cover art on Batman and Detective Comics. I don't know if he did Batman as well, but definitely on Detective Comics. And it's in the form of a letter of a criminal writing to Batman. I actually enjoyed reading the letter, and I liked how the person writing the letter was slowly changing some of the characters. And by the end, in order to know who's writing the letter, you're going to have to translate the letters back. It's not that difficult to figure out, but I thought it was fun. The artwork in this is stunning. Having them just give you an art gallery, but try to put it in the form of a story was, I thought, pretty interesting. And that's why this makes number 2 of these magazine-sized comics that I'm reviewing. Now, continuing the Lee Bermejo thread, I'm going to pick as my number 1 A Vicious Circle. And this one is actually by Boom, not Distillery. Now, when I was in the comic shop, I normally wouldn't buy a book 2, especially for this price, which was, $9.99. But because of the Lee Bermejo art, I was like, I would love to see him actually illustrate a full comic rather than just the cover. And so I'm really glad I picked this up, because the story is phenomenal. It has shocks, surprises. It's about a guy who is jumping through time. Every time he kills someone, he gets shot into another era of time, and he's up against someone who is doing this with purpose. He goes places because he wants to make effective changes in time. And I was won over with this right from the beginning. The art is amazing. And what's really cool is that you will go through this book and you will get Lee Bermejo's different art styles when he shifts time periods. So you'll get like regular art, you'll get his, what I would call almost like photographic background art. It's just, the art in this is just stunning. There's a section in the book where it goes to black and white. And it's just, not only are along for a great ride, great layouts, great art, but a great story. This is, as Sleeper Reader pointed out, this is a little bit older, but I have to hunt down issue 1, and I believe there will be an issue 3 coming out soon if it's not already out. This would be the number 1 of the 5 that I reviewed. I recommend everyone try to find this comic. It's absolutely worth your money. So these magazine style comics are really getting me back into reading single issue comics. I hope that you can, the next time you're in a comic shop, you won't shy away from these because of the price. If you have a subscription service at your local comic book shop, you usually get a discount anyway, although I'm not sure if he said he was discounting the magazines. I'm not sure if he did that or not. These 2 are well worth the cover price. I think this one is. This one is a pass, although I wouldn't say it's horrible. So I hope you enjoyed my beer can coverage, my tribute to Vinyl Richie in the form of rap lyrics, and my overview of some magazine-style comics. As always, I want to thank everyone for the support. His throat was hoarse, his throat was dry. Hey! His voice was hoarse, his throat was dry. He asked me for a sip. That line always kills me. Hi. His throat was hoarse, his voice was dry. He asked me for a sip.